This is what all this legend said about Abedi Pelé.
That skills are done between both feet. They weave their way through. They be ready, but they can just be true. From Ghana to Nigeria, Ivory Coast to Senegal, they march on the field like warriors.
This is Abedi Pelé, the first African player to win the UEFA Champions League. He's also a 3 times winner of the France football's African Ballon d'Or and one of the best playmakers of his time. Come find out more about him and his unbelievable career. This is Twisa Nkosi with the African Kings of Football. Let's celebrate.
Twisa Nkosi, gather around. We gotta show you the best players in town. From the heart of Africa, they shine so bright.
Abedi Pelé was born in Ghana and moved to the European football in 1983, when he was 19 years old. He played for several big clubs like Olympique de Marseille, Olympique Lyonnais, and Lille from France, Torino from Italy, TSV Munich from Germany, and others. Abedi Ayew is better known as Abedi Pelé, nickname that he was given in his teenager years and sticked forever, due to his physical attributes and playing similarities with the Brazilian king of football, Pelé. Abedi Pelé was born on November 5, 1964 in Kiebi, Ghana. He was the firstborn of 4 brothers. He grew up in a small village named Dome and began playing football at a young age. His father, James Ayew, was also a footballer. Pelé started on the football inspired by him. His talent was evident from a young age and he quickly rose through the ranks of Ghanaian football. He started at Great Falcons, a local football school for young talents, and in 1978, he moved to the Real Tamale United when he was 14. Everybody was so impressed with his unique talent that he made his professional debut when he was only 16 years old. He played for 2 seasons for the Real Tamale, 80-81 and 81-82. Where he played a total of 35 games and scored 21 goals. At this time, he already was in the radar of several foreigners teams, but his first adventure overseas was not what everybody expected. He was transferred to Al Sadd from Qatar, where he only played 8 games but scored 7 goals in the season 82-83.
I started my career in Al-Sadd. I went to Europe.
His stats were so good that he quickly was transferred to his first European team, the FC Zurich from Switzerland, to play at the season 83-84. In Zurich, Abedi Pelé scored 9 goals in 19 games. Despite Pelé's strong performances on the pitch, helping the team win the Swiss Cup and cementing himself as an emerging talent, issues surfaced regarding his contract status and disciplinary matters. According to some sources, Pelé was frustrated with the lack of opportunities for African players in Europe at the time. He felt that he was being discriminated against because of his race, and he wanted to return to Africa to help develop the game on the continent. In an interview with the BBC, he said, "I wanted to go back to Africa and help develop the game there. I wanted to show that African players could compete with the best players in the world." Some sources state that Pelé refused to play in Zurich unless the club provided him an improved contract, leading to a standoff with management. Others claim the harsh treatment from Zurich's bosses soured the relationship and directly prompted his departure. For the surprise of the all-football community, he returned to Africa, this time to play for AS Dragons FC de Lueme from Benin. His time on the AS Dragons would also be short, yet again with impressive stats. 11 goals in just 8 games. After only few months, he decided to return home, to Ghana and to his first professional team, the Real Tamale. He played again for just one season, 1985-86, where he would shine at top level with great performances and 7 goals in 19 games. After this would start what would be his triumphant return to Europe. Before diving into Pelé's great rising to the top, let's hear from our mascot, Ndogo, the obvious lion.
Hello, Nkosis. How are you? This is Ndogo, your mascot. Today's fact is absolutely amazing. Did you know that Abedi Pelé was not the responsible for the discovery of fire? That's because he was not born when that happened.
Ha, 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 ha. That was bad, Ndogo, even for you. Well, let's continue. Abedi Pelé returned to Europe to play at the Ligue 2 in France on the Chamois Niortais in 86-87. He had one unbelievable season there, leading the team to the first position on the Ligue 2, which would guarantee them the promotion to the Ligue 1, the main French league. With 24 wins, 7 draws and only 3 defeats in 34 games. Pelé was one of the most important players on his team and the league that season, scoring 14 goals in 32 games and helping the team play at the highest level. He was considered the best player of the Ligue 2 by Les Oscars du Foot, alongside with Laurent Blanc, that was playing at Montpellier at the time.
From the land of gold, the legends are born. Abedi Pelé, the football king we adore. Yeah, with skills like magic, a true maestro. He danced with the ball, stole the show. Oh yeah, Abedi Pelé, football king. His name will forever reign. Through the streets of Ghana we sing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Abedi Pelé, we cry to the king. The legacy will forever will bring joy to our hearts as we swing. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's like a night, a football hero and I with the Ghanaian smile. The name echoes through the streets, the legend on the pitch, dancing to his own beats. Abedi Pelé, the shining star of Ghana, with skill and grace he soar like an eagle, from Accra to Marseille.
Et Pelé partira pas l'Africain du Ghana devenu star à Niort, les grands clubs dont le PSG s'intéressent à lui et réciproquement.
C'est bon pour moi, jouer grande équipe.
After this crazy season, the football world was all looking at Pelé, but with some surprise, the first team to make a move was the FC Mulhouse from the French Ligue 2. The team was fighting to get promoted to the first division and ended at 3rd place in that season. They offered him a much higher salary and long-term contract, which the Chamois did not offer him, even after being the main player at the team. At the FC Mulhouse, Pelé had a really short time. After playing only few months on the season 87-88, scoring 5 goals in 16 games, with some amazing performances, he was bought by the Olympique de Marseille, at the time one of the main teams in France and in the Europe, with names like Jean-Pierre Papin, Alain Giresse and Joseph-Antoine Bell. The African goalkeeper of the century, according to IFFHS. His first months in Marseille team were not easy, and he played only 10 games until the end of the season. There were reports of some friction between him and Jean-Pierre Papin, the star of the team. In the beginning of the next season, 88-89, he left on loan to Lille, their rivals in the Ligue 1, with a purchase option. His first season at Lille was just amazing. Pelé was one of the best players on the league. He played 32 games and scored 9 goals and 3 assists. More than the stats, he was shining at high level and making the team play, despite the modest 8th place that they finished on the Ligue 1. One of his best games was against Marseille itself, where he scored a great free kick goal and had countless great plays.
Abedi Pelé aidé par une attaque virevoltante. Périlleux à gauche à Pelé qui tire soudainement sans contrôler. Et ce n'est pas fini, il est intouchable. Je la garde et je la donnerai quand je voudrais. La preuve. Périlleux qui s'avance, donne à Fier sur la droite, suivez bien. Une bonne passe, ils sont 3 pour marquer. Sauvaget, pied droit, c'est au fond. 10 minutes, 1-0 score à la mi-temps. C'est Scoli, mais l'homme orchestre toujours là, on ne l'arrête pas, il donne de bons ballons, il y a faute, il y a coup franc, il y a moyen de contourner le mur du pied gauche, c'est fait. C'est le but, à la Platini, on revoit, 2-0. Et cela aurait pu être plus cher. La preuve encore. Périlleux, Angloma qui met tout le monde dans le vent à la manière de Pelé. Le gardien Castaneda sauve en corner. Mais qu'à cela ne tienne, il recommence. Angloma et tête de Pelé sur le montant. 2-0 pour Lille.
Lille est consommée.
C'est difficile à dire. C'est difficile à dire parce que j'ai eu un petit peu la chance aussi. Parce qu'au début, il y a les murs et j'ai fait passer les ballons sur les murs. Alors les gardiens, je ne sais pas où il est. Mais...
This is when one of the biggest dramas in European football started. It's such a big story that I'll give you just the main info so you can understand. If you recall, I previously said that he left Marseille to join Lille on loan, but with a purchase option, and that's where the problem started. Since he had such a brilliant individual performance in his first season at Lille, the very controversial president of Marseille, Bernard Tapie, tried to bring him back to Marseille. They were trying to win the UEFA Champions League at the time, and Tapie felt that Abedi Pelé was the player they needed to achieve that ambition. However, Lille claimed that they had already activated the purchase option that they had on Abedi Pelé. Marseille argued that they did not sign that deal and therefore the player belonged to them. This started a huge legal battle between the two teams, both claiming ownership of the player. At the time, Lille presented a document alleging that Marseille had agreed to the purchase of the player, and the French football authorities decided in favour of LOSC Lille. This is a picture of the player when he received the news that he would stay at Lille through this sports journal. His second season at Lille was again individually brilliant, as he was one of the main players in a league full of stars, even though he was playing in a modest Lille squad that finished 17th in that season. He played 40 games and scored 10 goals and had 4 assists.
40 minutes, un véritable cauchemar. Périlleux marque le 4e but lillois. À l'issue de cette action d'Abedi Pelé, Roger Bolli réussit un grand pont sur Osmond pour le 5e but.
Un peu plus tard, Abedi Pelé part dans l'une de ses accélérations dont il a le secret. Il démarque sur sa gauche Mebati, dribble, puis pichenette, mais avec un peu trop de poids, un peu trop de force de la...
The Marseille's president them decided he would get Abedi back at any cost and made him several phone calls offering him a lot of money. Pelé agreed to return to Marseille when his wife told him, "You go there and show everybody how good you are." Marseille had to pay 4 million francs to Lille for his transfer, which was a record fee at the time. On this new adventure at Marseille, he reached the prime of his career. Collectively, he won 3 consecutive French league titles and 1 UEFA Champions League in 1993, the only one ever won by a French team. Marseille was one of the strongest teams in the world, reaching 2 UEFA Champions League finals and 1 semi-final in 4 years. Abedi Pelé was in the 2 finals. He played alongside with giants of the football history, names like Didier Deschamps, Eric Cantona, Rudi Völler, Marcel Desailly, Basile Boli, Fabien Barthez, Carlos Moser, Jocelyn Angloma, Jean-Pierre Papin, and other big names. At domestic competitions, Marseille was dominating totally and won with Abedi Pelé 3 consecutive leagues on his 3 seasons at the club. He was always a key player and one of the main responsibles for the team, huge success in France. His stats on those seasons were also impressive. 1991, 44 games, 7 goals and 5 assists. 91-92, 43 games, 14 goals and 4 assists. 92-93, 49 games, 9 goals and 6 assists. In his first season, 1991, Marseille reached the UEFA Champions League final after a spectacular clash against the AC Milan, the running Europe champions, in the quarter-finals. Milan had in his squad mythic names such as Carlo Ancelotti, Marco van Basten, Ruud Gullit, Frank Rijkaard, Paolo Maldini, Alessandro Costacurta and Franco Baresi. In the first leg at San Siro, the match ended in a 1-1 draw. Abedi Pelé was the man of the match, with a breathtaking exhibition.
Abedi Pelé, il s'en sort, il est plus rapide et plus vif que Ancelotti. Waddle, devant, sur le côté. Ballon. Papin, but. Ballon. But de Papin, égalisation, superbe égalisation. Abedi Pelé dans les 16 mètres, frappe. C'est passé loin. Oh non. Il a même fallu. Elle a été touchée. Un contre et. Il l'a touchée. Oui, parce qu'elle est dedans.
At the second leg, at Stade Vélodrome in France, again Pelé played at high level. The game was 1-0 for the French side when, at the 88 minutes, there was a problem with the stadium illumination, and the game had to be stopped. The teams had to wait 20 minutes until the issue could be resolved. When finally the lights went back to normal, Adriano Galliani, Milan's CEO, told all the players to leave the pitch because they didn't have the condition to continue the match. Although many players wanted to continue playing, Adriano maintained the order and Milan left. UEFA gave a 3-0 victory to Marseille, and Milan was banned from European competitions on the next season. In the next stage, semi-final, Marseille didn't give their opponents much chances, winning both games against the strong Spartak Moscow, 1-3 at Moscow and 2-1 at France. Pelé was superb and the best player on the two games, scoring 2 great goals, 1 in each game.
The name goes through the streets, a legend on the pitch, dancing to his own beats. The shining star of Ghana, with skill and grace, he's so like a
Pelé, accélération de Pelé, il lance Papin, Papin contourne bien, Papin s'engouffre, Papin frappe. Abedi Pelé avec Papin, Papin face à Bazoulev, Jean Tigana est en position d'avancement, accélération de Papin et frappe extrêmement puissante de Papin. Abedi Pelé, interception Abedi Pelé, il sait que Papin veut marquer, il donne à Papin, voilà c'est bien joué, Papin va peut-être marquer, non il ne marquera pas ce soir, peut-être de Pascal Olmeta. Abedi Pelé peut-être pour le 3e, Papin qui s'était lancé une dernière fois dans ses arrêts de jeu, le ballon arrive sur Vertuis qui frappe et qui a voulu refaire.
The venue for the final was the San Nicola Stadium in Bari, Italy. Olympique Marseille and Red Star were considered the best teams in Europe at the time, who played extremely offensive and attractive football, with a lot of talent in all areas of the field. However, the final was not what was expected, with 2 teams very balanced on the field, and with a lot of pragmatism from the coaches, ending the 120 minutes 0-0. In the penalties, Red Star was stronger, with the score ending at 5-3. It was a big setback for Olympique Marseille and for Abedi, even more so after having eliminated a great Milan. After a disappointing defeat and elimination in the second stage of the 91-92 Champions League, Marseille returned stronger than ever to the 92-93 Champions League competition. This was the second year that UEFA had adopted a different format for the Champions League. This table will help you understand the new format. Marseille and Abedi Pelé were unstoppable, winning the first and second round and the group stage. There was 2 groups on the group stage, and the winners of each group would face each other on the final. The winner of the other group was, yes, you guessed, AC Milan. The 2 teams faced each other again, this time in the most important game on the European football, the Champions League final. Take a look at the lineups from both teams. Big names in both.
Ein Jahr zuvor bei der Europameisterschaft hatte Boli sich bereits einen Namen gemacht. mittels eines Kopfstoßes gegen den Engländer Stuart Pearce. Dieses Mal setzte der gebürtige Ivora seinen Schädel deutlich gewinnbringender ein.
Despite Milan, Abedi Pelé couldn't be happier. He became the first African player to win the Champions League. And doing it at that fashion was even more important, being the main name in the club and giving the assist for the only goal on the final. This was the highest point on his career and dream coming to life. All the world of football knew how great this African king was. After this 3 amazing seasons in Marseille, the unbelievable would happen. A huge scandal involving the Marseille president was discovered. Bernard Tapie contacted some Valenciennes players and asked them to underperform in a match against Marseille, so that Marseille could stay fresher for their 1993 UEFA Champions League final match against AC Milan. That was 6 days later. The scandal led to the French league title from 92-93, being taken away from Marseille, and the team was relegated to the Ligue 2. Abedi Pelé and other players left the club after the scandal. His career would continue in 4 more teams, where he continued shining at high level. After leaving Marseille, he continued in France, at Lyon, where he played only 1 season, scoring 3 goals in 31 games, in 93-94. After that season, he moved to the Italy's Serie A, where he shined at Torino for 2 seasons, 94-95 and 95-96. He played 54 games, scoring 13 goals and being the maestro of the team, pacing the team's game. During his stay in Italy, Pelé made great impact and was highly appreciated by the football lovers on the country.
From the land of gold, the legends are born. Abedi Pelé, the football king we adore. Yeah. Skills like magic, a true maestro. He danced with the ball, stole the show. Oh yeah, Abedi Pelé, football king. His name will forever ring. Through the streets of Ghana we sing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Abedi Pelé, we cry to the king.
He then left to the Bundesliga to play at the TSV München, where he would play also for 2 seasons at good level. His numbers were 57 games, 4 goals and 7 assists on the seasons 96-97 and 97-98. After this, he went to his last club destination, the Al Ain from the United Arab Emirates. Even at the age of 35, Pelé had amazing numbers there. In his first season, 98-99, he scored 17 goals in 20 games. On his last season as football player, 1999-2000, he played 11 games and scored impressive 11 goals. He also won the UAE League. That was the last season of this amazing and unique talent. We spoke about Pelé's amazing career on his clubs. But his path with the Ghana's national team was also incredible, with 67 games and 33 goals. He made his debut on Ghana's national team, the mythic Black Stars, when he was only 16. This amazing squad won the African Cup of Nations in Libya in 1982. That was Abedi Pelé's first major trophy. He reached again the AFCON final with Ghana in 1992 against Ivory Coast. Abedi Pelé could not play that final because he got booked in the semi-final. Ghana lost the final in the penalties shootout by 11-10. Although Ghana lost that final, Abedi's stellar performance in that tournament is one of the most lauded footballing performances ever. He scored 3 sensational goals in that AFCON, 1 goal against Zambia, a goal against Congo and another one against Nigeria, which sealed a spot for his country in the finals of the tournament. He was voted the player of the tournament. Pelé participated in a total of 5 African Cups, 1982, 92, 94, 96 and 98. He was in CAF's team of the tournament 3 times. in 1992, 94, and 96. Pelé also won 3 consecutives West African Nations Cups in 1982, 83, and 84. Abedi never had an opportunity to play in the FIFA World Cup, as the Black Stars failed to qualify for the competition during his career. However, he was arguably the most dominant figure on the African football scene for nearly a decade.
The name echoes through the streets, a legend on the pitch, dancing to his own beats. The shining star of Ghana.
Pelé had an amazing and successful career with many collective and individual trophies to show for it. Let's take a look at them.
With skill and grace we soar like an eagle. From Accra to Marseille, his spirit will never fade. Forever in our hearts, true football and icon.
For this segment, we wanted to do something interesting and make a quick comparison between Pelé and another famous player who played in Europe at about the same time. It's not a comparison of the two players' qualities, it's just a way to show the greatness of both. For this, we chose Michel Platini, the French superstar. Let's take a look at their stats. Tell us what you think.
The sunshine bright to see the tongues alive as we gather on the field, ready to survive. The beat of the drums to it up in our feet, with us putting ball no defeat, no retreat. In Africa we play with passion and pride, under the bright African sky we collide. A symphony of shouts and cheers.
Abedi Pelé was a complete footballer with a natural talent for the game. He was an excellent dribbler, a precise passer, and an opportunistic finisher. He was also really fast with and without the ball. Take a look at some of his best moments on the pitch.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No I'm not giving up, no I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing it.
We have also to talk about Abedi Pelé's influence on the African football. Pelé is a true icon of African football. He is a legendary footballer who has left a lasting legacy on the sport. Paving the way and serving as an influence, Pelé was a pioneer in African football. He was one of the first African players to succeed in Europe, and his example inspired many other African players to follow in his footsteps. Pelé's skill and success helped to change perceptions about African footballers. Before his time, African players were often seen as being technically inferior to their European counterparts. However, Pelé's ability to dribble past defenders, deliver pinpoint passes, and score spectacular goals helped to prove that African players could compete at the highest level. Pelé was also an influential football player. He was a natural leader, and his charisma and skill captured the attention of audiences around the world. His legacy continues to inspire African players to this day. Even after ending his European career, Abedi continued to contribute to the development of football on his continent, especially in Ghana. He opened football academies to train the next generations of African talent.
The sunshine bright to see the thunder alive as we gather around the field, ready to survive. The beat of the drums to it up in our feet, that's what people know.
Now, a fun fact. Did you know that Abedi Pelé is the father of Andre and Jordan Ayew? His sons have played for teams like Marseille, Aston Villa, Swansea, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Fenerbahce, Forest and more. Yes, the two boys followed their father's footsteps.
The sunshine bright to see the thunder alive as we gather around the field, ready to survive. The beat of the drums to it up in our...
We've compared Pelé's numbers with Michael Platini's. That's too easy. Now let's compare this goal of him with this goal I scored against my friends in a rainy Tuesday night. Look at the quality of my execution. I think it's obvious that mine is more difficult. Let me know in the comments which one you think was better. I truly think I'll get this one.
Abedi
Pelé is a true legend of African football. He was a king on the pitch and his legacy will last forever. It was a real pleasure to study more about this amazing player and to bring all this information and this incredible story to you. We hope that you enjoyed this as much as we did. Please let us know in the comments what you think about Pelé's story. Before you go, let us know who is your favorite African player of all time. Thank you very much for joining the Twiza and Kosi tribe.
Twiza and Kosi gather around. We gonna show you the best players in town. From the heart of Africa, they shine so bright. Through the skill and passion, they'll ignite. Hey, Twiza and Kosi, oh. Hey, Twiza and Kosi, oh. Get ready to witness the football play. Twiza and Kosi, the place to be with the play. Oh, Twiza and Kosi, oh. Twiza and Kosi, oh. The champions of the pitch, they won't fight now.